Um, this is gonna be a little rambling rant. I'm gonna start it off like this. Rest in peace to this anime fan named Tree Shiki. He was a anime fan. Who liked Naruto, especially Boruto. So rest in peace to Tree Shiki. May he rest in peace. The reason why I'm talking about this is because a lot of anime fans, fans of anime, fans of cartoons, fans of video games, nerds and geeks. A lot of you motherfucking geeks and nerds are becoming very cringy. Not what I mean by cringy for my definition. I'm talking about the way how we glorify and show hate to one another. Ever since Tree Shiki died, a lot of people were basically, a lot of nerds and geeks were basically making fun of his death by saying, "Oh, good," by saying certain comments like, "Oh, good, one less Boruto fan is has died," or "Oh, good, one less Boruto fan is off of this earth," or "Good for him," stuff like that. Saying a lot of mean and hurtful comments about Trishiki because he was a fan of Boruto. I mean, I understand that Boruto is not a good anime. I understand that. A lot of people don't like Boruto, but why make fun of him? Why treat him like he's garbage after he died, man? That doesn't make any sense to me. Because listen, when I was coming up as a young boy, when I was coming up as a young boy, a lot of geeks and nerds wasn't that cold-hearted. A lot of geeks and nerds will show you love. As long as you showed them respect, they will show you respect. You know what I'm saying? The whole anime community, man, back in I don't know how it is now, but back in the day, they show love to one another, man. They show some type of compassion. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you one of them, they will welcome you with open arms. You know what I'm saying? Or if you're not one of them, but if, like, for example, if you're not one of them, but if you have an open mind to check out their world or something like that, or check out the things that the other nerds and geeks like, they will show you love. They will open you with open arms. You know what I'm saying? As long as you show them respect. But nowadays, man, you got a lot of these nerds and geeks who are hella cringe. They like to show off hate. They like to glorify disrespect, even towards a person that's dead, But, back in the day, it wasn't like that, man. Like years ago, like a lot of anime fans, a lot of geeks and nerds who was into anime and sci-fi, they show love to one another, man. They show respect. But nowadays, there's no respect for one another, man. It's like, damn, you would rather base your hate on a person who likes a television show, or should I say an anime show that is not that popular, that is less popular. That doesn't make any sense to me. Just because Boruto is not a good show like that does not mean that you should hate the people that enjoys the show. Do you get what I'm saying? That doesn't make any sense. That's not what the anime community is all about. The anime community was all about respecting one another, respecting each other as peers, and respecting the shows that other people like, whether you like it or not, And like I said before, rest in peace to Trishiki. He doesn't deserve that disrespect. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense why a lot of these guys, talk about him that way, even though he was a fan of Boruto. It doesn't make any sense. And what else I want to say? Yeah, this is why. Oh, and also another thing, too. When it comes to anime and all that stuff, when it comes to geeks and all that stuff, making the nerd culture, this is my problem. This is my problem. When it comes to the whole nerd culture, my main problem with the nerd culture is that it's mainstream now. It should have been underground. You know what I'm saying? The whole nerd culture should have stayed underground. By making it mainstream, you have all these outsiders all these outsiders that have infiltrated the whole nerd culture, and now everybody, wants to be a nerd. I don't know how it is now. The culture might have faded away. The whole, fad of being a nerd has faded away. But back then, I'm gonna say like about 2010, everybody wanted to be a nerd. Wearing glasses, wearing suspenders, or acting like they into video games and anime. And it's like motherfucker, like just like 2 years ago, you wasn't into this shit. But now since being a nerd is mainstream, now you want to be a nerd and all that stuff. Now you want to try and read books and all that stuff because it's a fad now. You know what I'm saying? I really think and believe that the nerd culture should have stayed on the ground and let these so-called wannabe phonies and fakes stay where they at. You know what I'm saying? Keep your ass, up there where the other mainstream motherfuckers at. And don't infiltrate the nerd culture, because while these outsiders infiltrated the nerd culture became more negative, or should I say more toxic, as we see right now. Not beginning up, it's more than just a tree chicky thing, but the outsiders have not only infiltrated the nerd culture, but also poisoned their beliefs, poisoned their poisoned their way of thinking upon other nerds, and they have poisoned the underground culture of being a nerd, of being a geek. You know what I'm saying? So now you got these outsiders not only poison the people that's within the nerd culture, but also poison that mindset too. So now you got nerds that want to be so-called like cool or mainstream now, but it's not. But in the long run, it's not going to work out. Like that dude. What's that dude they got accused a long time ago? Like for example, Heavenly Controller. Now Heavenly Controller, he was accused of sexual assault, but kind of found out it wasn't true at all. Now he was a nerd, but he was a nerd. But then later on, he wanted to become mainstream. Basically, he wanted to become popular. So he decided to become some type of cool nerd. And while he became a so-called cool nerd, he hooked up with this chick and kind of found out this chick set him up with a sexual assault charge. And when that happened, a lot of his so-called friends left him. His so-called friends that he thought that was his buddies, they left him. So so in the end, he lost a lot of friends. Oh well, not really lost a lot of his friends, but kind of found out the so-called friends that he had around him were fake all along. So that was good on his part, but it's just that his reputation was damaged due to the so-called sexual assault charge. But I'm just saying, like, the point is, what I'm trying to say with Heavenly Controller is that when the outsiders infiltrated the nerd culture, you had certain nerds or geeks like Heavenly Controller wanted to be a part of the whole mainstream culture, and they did for a while, but at a cost. The cost was their reputation as a human being. So now his whole image has been tarnished due to a fake sexual assault charge. So his image has been tarnished. It's been damaged due to that fake charge that was pressed on him. See, my thing is, man, overall, like I said before, the nerd culture should have stayed underground. I said, let the outsiders stick to their whole mainstream bullshit. And to all the nerds out there, just stay who you are. Be who you are. Do not subject yourselves to negativity and hate like y'all did to Trishiki, because nerds are not like that. Nerds are supposed to be warm. Nerds are supposed to be caring. But for the most part, nerds are supposed to be respectful. We're supposed to respect human beings. You know what I'm saying? We as nerds, listen, I'm a nerd too. By hood ghetto standards, I'm considered a nerd because, I had good grades and all that stuff, and I play video games and all that shit. But for the most part, I stayed out of trouble, so I was considered a nerd, by hood ghetto standards. But I'm just saying, we as nerds, overall, we supposed to show respect towards our fellow man. Just show respect. So whether you like the same things or not like the same things, we should all respect each other as a whole. And never again, I repeat, never again let outsiders of the mainstream infiltrate y'all communities. Do not ever do that again. Keep that shit, keep the outsiders, keep the motherfucking mainstream outsiders out of your cliques. Because look what happened. Look what happened. Eventually, the whole nerd culture was poisoned. The whole nerd culture got poisoned. So if I was y'all, man, I would not let that shit happen again. Keep the mainstream outsiders keep the mainstream outsiders out of your shit, and just keep it nerds only, whether you're male or female. You know what I'm saying? Just keep it nerds and geeks only. And once you do that, have respect towards your fellow man. Doesn't matter what race, color, creed, or TV show that they like or video games that they like. We must show respect towards each other. And that's all I got to say about that, man. Sure, that's all I got to say. And like I said again, rest in peace to Trishiki. Rest in peace to him. But we have to do better. As nerds, we have to do better. And that's all I got to say. So, yeah, man. So thank you so much and have a good day.